Mondays to Fridays, 12 to 3 p.m. on Voice of the...
Well, a very beautiful afternoon to you and yours. This is Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. I'm Chinwe Blessing, and this is Matters. Matters is your, I like to think, one-stop shop for everything that concerns you. Every single thing, all of the pressing issues of our time, we like to delve deep into. Today we embark on another thought-provoking journey through the stories that shape our world. And through the next 3 hours, we're going to be exploring the world of politics, address issues that affect our community, look into our general health, lifestyle or wellness, and afterward we relax with beautiful soothing music, vibes from the world of entertainment. I do this Monday through Friday, and I'm grateful that you're joining me today. On World Rounds today, we delve into a matter that, well, is pretty much provoking, but we're going to look at the intricacies of it and try to make sense out of it. NIMASA has admitted to selling 82 vehicles for 5.8 million naira. That's what we're looking at today. Now, the members of the House of Representatives expressed shock over the weekend as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency admitted selling 82 vehicles for 5.8 million naira in 12 years. Now, NIMASA Executive Director Chudi Ofodeli, who revealed this at, the resumption of the committee investigating the disposal of public property by the agencies between 2010 and 2022. It was chaired by Honorable Julius Ihom-Bere, and he said due process was followed through the entire thing. Now, some of the documents presented by the agency obtained showed a number of vehicles that were sold and how much they were sold at and how much they were rated in the market. What I'm going to be doing today is telling you, this is what was sold, this is how much the market value was according to the reports, and this is how much it was sold for. Then we're going to have a conversation about whether or not it should have been done that way. I'm going to quickly take a breather. Don't go anywhere.
People, can I have your attention, please? You say, tell us the news. And now, here it is. Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. Now, you have a voice.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, a Peugeot expert ambulance with a market value, according to the document, of 200,000 naira was sold at forced liquidation, an auction value of 95,000 naira. A Honda Civic Salon car with a market value of 170,000 naira was sold at 76,500 naira. A Toyota Hilux, which was grounded with a market value of about 300,000 naira, was sold at 140,000 naira. Another Toyota Hilux Accidental with a market value of 200,000 naira was sold at 96,000 naira, while another Toyota Hilux, which was grounded as well, with a market value of 250,000 naira, was sold at 115,000 naira. Stay with me, it goes on. Now, there are 2 units of Toyota Hiluxes which was at the time of inspection in the custody of the Cabotage Consult in Lagos, put at 1 million naira market value for both of them, and they were sold at 470,000 naira each. First liquidation, auction value, there was a Honda Civic put at 210,000 naira. It was sold at 95,000 naira. There was a Honda City put at 190,000 naira market value. It was sold at 80,000 naira, amongst others. Furthermore, at NIMASA office in Abuja, a Toyota Hilux put at 500,000 naira market value was sold at 245,000. A Toyota Avensis was put at a 300,000 naira market value and was sold at 145,000 naira. A Toyota Corolla was put at 300,000 naira market value. It was sold at 147,000. 2 units of Honda Civics was put at 90,000 naira and they were sold at a ridiculous sum of 30,000 naira each, amongst many others. Now, some lawmakers who spoke during the investigative hearing demanded for documentary evidence of funds remitted into the CRF account as provided by extant provisions of the Procurement Act, Proceed of Crimes Act, and other known legislations or financial regulations. The NIMASA official, Ofodili, feigned ignorance of the provisions of the Public Procurement Act 2007 on the remittance of the funds generated from the sale of public assets, but said the proceed of sales was paid by the auctioneers into the agency's coffers. Then the committee chairman and House leader, Ihon Vere, expressed surprise at that most of the vehicles displayed in the document presented by the panel did not appear old or in good condition. I'm going to quickly quote what he said. He said, looking at them, pictures of the pictures of the vehicles that were in the document, some of them are looking new. And he went ahead to add that a 13-year-old Toyota Hilux is not old to Nigerians. Now, while that is not something to be proud of, I am glad that at least we are calling a spade as it is, which is one of the major problems we have in the country Nigeria today, where we try to do things and try to be politically correct, and most of the time when we do that, it is very different from the current reality on ground. He went ahead to express concern over the rationale behind the placement of an advert on the 29th of March 2022 calling for a public auction of NIMASA vehicles and sale of all vehicles on the 30th of March 2022 through forced liquidation and auction. Now, Ihon Vere said that the move leaves lawmakers with the impression that it was a pre-arrangement, stressing that the process contravened the extant Public Procurement Act to dispose of public assets within the duration of 24 hours. Now, he still went ahead, of course, to disclose that the ad hoc committee is in custody of the petitions against NIMASA, that the vehicles were sold to some officials and staff of the agency, which of course most Nigerians are suspecting, because some of the auctioneers engaged by the agency were merely hired to rubber stamp the fictitious insider training. Consequently, now if you're looking at it, the committee had gone ahead to request for a list of all the auctioneers as well as the beneficiaries of the vehicles, the original cost of the vehicles and invoices, a letter of contract awards for auctioning of the assets to the auctioneers, relevant approvals obtained from Federal Ministry of Works and Housing as well as the Bureau of Public Procurement. The panel grilled Sokoto River Basin's Authority over indiscriminate sales of public assets to the management of the agency in breach of the extant Public Procurement Act at ridiculous prices. This is in a similar note, by the way. Now, ruling, Ihon Vere directed the NIMASA and Sokoto River Basin representatives to provide relevant documents that will aid in the ongoing investigations, which, of course, many Nigerians want to see. We want to see this investigation. We want to know. We want to understand what is going on. How do you sell 82 vehicles for less than 6 million naira? 5.8 million naira is basically what they made out of this. And they're still feigning ignorance as to whether or not they're feigning ignorance about knowing, sending the money or being accountable for the monies that they got from this, because they're supposed to actually do that, but no, they're feigning ignorance about it. Now, Ihon Vere went ahead to quote the multilateral, saying that the lack of adequate digital and financial infrastructure and processes to support a swift transition to a cashless economy, coupled with the fact that only 40% of adults have a bank account, further exacerbated the situation. The cash shortage resulted in a black market for new notes, inflating overall transaction costs. Still on the same issue, the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, yesterday demanded prosecution of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency officials over the sale of 82 vehicles for 5.8 million naira. The group has said it was appalled and outraged by the recent revelation that the offense took place in violation of public procurement. Now, besides the fact that this was done, the notice that was given for most of these auctions was less than 24 hours, which of course is in violation of public procurement. The national coordinator, Emmanuel Onwobiko, said it was a clear case of economic sabotage, corruption, and abuse of public trust that must not go unpunished. Now, according to him, the vehicles, which were mostly in good condition and serviceable, were sold at ridiculously low prices to some officials and the staff of the agency in a pre-arranged insider trading scheme. Now, proceeds of the sales were not remitted to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. There's a Consolidated Revenue Fund account, and that is what is required by the law, but it was rather paid into NIMASA coffers by the auctioneers who were hired to rubber stamp the fictitious transactions. Now, while this is going on, the reps also frown, that's the House of Representatives, have also frowned over the sale of 82 vehicles for 5.8 million naira by NIMASA. Right now, while Ofodili is insisting that they followed due process, a lot of us are asking questions. Did you really follow due process? Why was the money paid into NIMASA coffers as opposed to, being paid into the accounts of the consolidated revenue fund account? What is going to, all eyes right now are on the committee, and a lot of people are wondering what is going to happen in the end. Is there going to be a way to prove that this was actually carried out? Because it doesn't take anybody that has lived in Nigeria, it doesn't take anything. Anybody that has lived in Nigeria up to 10 years will know that this was sold to members of staff and officials of NIMASA. Otherwise, how in 24 hours do you, within